This is Shamrock Sports, and we have breaking news. According to Mike Berardino of Notre Dame Insider, offensive coordinator Tommy Rees is leaving Notre Dame to accept the offensive coordinator position at Alabama. We'll break down the breaking news and more. This is Shamrock Sports. And as we announced off the top of the show, Notre Dame offensive coordinator Tommy Rees leaving for Alabama. Notre Dame football players have been informed, according to the South Bend Tribune. Ryan Murphy, Tyler Reedy, Kian Bagenstos. Guys, this is huge news for Notre Dame football. Tyler, let's start with you. What are your initial reactions?
Surprise, first and foremost, because all that Tommy Rees has ever known over the last decade or so in his playing career and now his coaching career has been Notre Dame, and all we have ever known as Notre Dame students and fans is Tommy Rees at Notre Dame as a coordinator and a coach. So to see him get an opportunity like this to go coach, be an offensive coordinator at one of the winningest college football programs of the last decade and one of the greatest college football coaches of all time, quite frankly, Nick Saban, is just astounding. But, you know, we have to be proud of him as well. To be this young and to get this kind of look and opportunity says a lot about the kind of coach he's developing into, I think.
So I'm going to go on here, and I'm kind of weirded out by the fact that everyone's upset about Tom Rees leaving, because I feel that, Tom Rees' horrendous play calling and ground and pound style really limited our offense last year, I feel, because we finished 98th in passing yards, 44th in points scored, and so I feel like we're just not ready for the playoffs yet under Tommy Rees. But now, if we get Tommy out, we get a new offensive scheme, we get Sam Hartman in, the all-time ACC leader in passing yards, we get our new 4-star receivers, Braylon James, Drayton Greathouse, Rico Flores. We get another year with Lorenzo Styles, Tobias Merriweather, Jane Thomas. I think this past game is ready to fly without Tom Rees. I love Tom Rees, but without him, we're going to fly, especially with our elite running game. This offense will not be able to be stopped, and I feel like it could take us all the way back to the playoffs and maybe even a natty. So I support Tom Rees leaving. I wish him the best at Alabama, and I'm not surprised, though, because they are known for hiring some mid-offensive coordinators, but we wish Tommy the best. We love our Irish, so that's my thoughts on it.
So I think the natural question then becomes, where does Notre Dame go for here? Who do you guys think the potential, I know this is very early, but potential next candidate for the job?
Yeah, so I'm looking at a potential former pro-style option for Notre Dame to bring in here, especially with an eye geared towards Sam Hartman. All the talk about Sam Hartman, despite the stats and records he's put up at Wake Forest in the ACC, is that he hasn't really gotten the looks in terms of the NFL draft because he hasn't been in enough of a pro-style offense. That Wake offense was very raw. So I'm looking at Notre Dame to potentially bring in someone like Joe Brady, Byron Leftwich, maybe even Cliff Kingsbury, who had that high-powered offensive attack back at Texas Tech, who had a bit of a failed tenure in Arizona in the NFL. But I think Notre Dame should look for a potential pro-style option to really try and make this offense as high-powered and geared up, like you mentioned, Kian, for this upcoming season with Hartman.
I agree, and I'm going to go off you. I'm going with Cliff because, what Cliff Kingsbury has is pro-style, air raid offense. He's got flash, and I feel like, Notre Dame's got a lot of grit, but grit can only take us so far against USC and South Carolina because, we would get tripped up by USC's trick plays and South Carolina's, Rattler going huge rushes, big passes. We kind of fell behind a little bit. So I feel Notre Dame, we really need some flash here. So I think we can, with Cliff Kingsbury, we can do that, and we can finally get some receivers involved and maybe get our tight end involved. Mayer leaving kind of sucks, but, with some flash in our offense, air raid, big receivers, I think it can be a lot better.